Hey, social psychology research shows that emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the key to success in relationships and work, and it starts with self-awareness. And one emotion that is one of the keys to success in relationships is compassion, the ability to feel for someone else. So check this out in Jesus' life. It's from Luke chapter 7. It says, soon afterward, Jesus went to a town called Nain, and his disciples and a large crowd went along with him. Now, on this trip, they were confronted by a crowd of mourners and a grieving widow. It's verse 12. As he approached the town gate, a dead person was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and a large crowd from the town was with her. In this large crowd of people with her would most likely have been family and friends, for sure. And some of them might have actually been professional mourners. It wasn't uncommon to pay people, and they would take flutes and tambourines, and they would walk down the streets, and they would play in the streets, and they would wail in sadness. And Jesus is on this trip, and he walks up on this very emotional, most likely very loud scene. And most likely the little boy had died the day before. I say that because in this time in history, they didn't have formaldehyde, and they had same types of quality embalming ingredients that we would have today. And because of the climate, whenever a person died, the burial would be held almost always the next day. So if you can imagine, you've got this young mom who's already lost her husband, and now she's a widow, and she loses her only son. Emotional, overwhelmed with grief, at her deepest moment of pain. Verse 13 says, when the Lord saw her, his heart went out to her, and he said, don't cry. His heart went out to her. What emotion did Jesus feel when he saw someone in deep and profound pain? What Jesus felt on that day is the very same thing he feels for you when you're hurting, when you're afraid, when your marriage is struggling, when you're trying to pay your bills and you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. When you're praying for a child who's making bad decisions and you're aching and hoping and believing that your child will be okay. Jesus feels the very same thing for you when you're hurting as he did for this woman who was in pain. His heart goes out to you. Listen, this week we'll be talking about how to respond in compassion just like Jesus did. But for today, I hope it helps to know that when you hurt, Jesus' heart goes out to you.